couldn't find a way back into the game, beaten again, 1 point from the last 9 available, and it was a real failure to create good quality chances. Let's show you this from last season. Arsenal ranked 3rd for open play chances per game. You can see that drop this season down to 10th. 9 teams in the Premier League are creating more open play chances per game than Arsenal, who are a real challenger for the title. Chances from set pieces last season was 17th. Now that number is 5th. The reliance on creating chances from set pieces, that is telling us, is going up massively. What about their style tweak as well? Percentage of long passes was 17th last season. It is now 12th. And this is also interesting and perhaps significant. The percentage of goalkeeper passes long, 11th last season. They climbed 10% to 55%, which is 6th in the league. What do you make of that, Jamie? Is that sort of confirming what your eye is telling you?
Well, listen, the numbers tell me that. My eyes tell me that when I watch Arsenal. I struggle to see them, certainly in big away games, how they're going to score a goal besides a set piece. Listen, the elephant in the room is Odegaard's not there. He's probably in the top 4 or 5 players in the Premier League, so there's no doubt he makes a huge difference. But don't forget, Man City without De Bruyne this season, probably for a lot of last season as well. So they're heavily reliant on him. But when you say it's this by design, and I made a comment last week about sort of the football and where basically Mikel Arteta's football is morphing into. Now, I want to go back and look at the players Mikel Arteta's signed, because I didn't just come up with this idea on back of last week. I've been thinking this for a few months. Now, I go here, I know Mikel Arteta came in before that, and there was players he signed from Chelsea, older players like David Luiz and Willian and that. But when he's sort of signing sort of young players, and this was the season when maybe Arsenal probably should have made the top 4 when they were fighting with Tottenham. Ben White was brought in. Ball-playing centre-back, almost felt like he was going to be the John Stones of what Man City was. Odegaard come in from Real Madrid, again, an intricate player between the lines. So you can see the type of football and manager and team he wants. We then go to the following season, the first season where Arsenal challenged for the title. 2 players coming from Manchester City, Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko, a full-back who likes to go into midfield, Fabio Vieira, a midfield player, only 5'7". So again, intricate football and players, you can see what he's trying to build and what team he wants. Very similar almost maybe to Manchester City. He then loses the league this season. They get bullied at Manchester City's ground and towards the end of the season lose the title. And I think there's a feeling that we're not strong enough, we're not powerful enough, right? So you bring in Declan Rice, 6'2", box-to-box midfield player. Kai Havertz, an attacking player, whether that's midfield or part of your front 3, but he's not a silky player. He's a physical player. He holds the ball up. He's good in the air. Timber, brilliant defender, but he's a solid defender first and foremost, not like a Zinchenko going into midfield. So when I talk about where this team is morphing to, I don't just pluck a statement out to try and create headlines. And it's not a criticism. It's an analysis that this team has gone from intricate players to strong, powerful players. And this summer, Calafiori, again, he's a centre-back playing left-back, and Mourinho comes in, 6'2" midfield player, who actually, when he joined the club, came out with a quote said, when I went into the dressing room, I felt like I was with a basketball team, not a football team, because the size of all the players. This is not a criticism, this is an analysis of where Mikel Arteta is trying to take this team and how he's trying to win the Premier League title.
What you said, I think, which caught a lot of attention, not least of Arsenal fans, a couple of weeks ago, and you repeated it last Sunday, was that if you take Mikel Arteta, and Pep Guardiola was a big disciple of Pep Guardiola, but actually he's moving more towards Jose Mourinho.
100%.
Which was quite a big call to say that. And I think some people would see that as criticism.
Well, listen, Pep Guardiola and Jose Mourinho are the 2 most dominant and successful managers of the last, 15, 20 years. But they're at both ends of the spectrum in terms of style of football. You look at the players brought in here, what's the style they're wanting to get to? You see that, and it is morphing towards Jose Mourinho. Now, again, it's not a criticism for Arsenal or Mikel Arteta, it's analysis. Because this is a guy who's won the Premier League 3 times. Arsenal haven't won the Premier League for 20 years. So it's just where he's taken them. But if you think of Jose Mourinho as a manager, if he took over my club, what would I think I was getting? My first thing would be thinking, my team's going to be strong defensively. No doubt about that. Arsenal is strong defensively. Height and strength and power in my team. We've just highlighted that, about the size and the power of this Arsenal team. That's what you get from Mourinho. That's what you're getting from Arsenal right now. set-piece reliance at times. You think how powerful Drogba and John Terry were at Chelsea. That's exactly the same with Arsenal. Rely on set-pieces, especially this side. We've just highlighted that at times, not all the time, Arsenal under the goalkeeper going direct. How often do we see Petr Cech go direct to Didier Drogba, knock it down to Frank Lampard? The one thing that we should also say that Arsenal are not like Jose Mourinho is winning trophies. Now, if Jose Mourinho is watching tonight and he'll see that, he will say, but I win trophies. At the moment, Arsenal haven't won the trophy. They've been fantastic. The football they've played, superb, and how they're going about it. But anyone who thinks I just plucked this Jose Mourinho thing out to sort of create a negativity around Arsenal, it's analysing exactly where Arsenal are going. And if people don't agree with that, I don't think you're actually watching what's going on with Arsenal right now. I think Mikel Arteta feels he doesn't have the attacking quality that Manchester City have, so he's going another way to try and win the league, which is being strong defensively and a more powerful team.
Well, listening to you is obvious that Mikel Arteta basically wants to have plan E, plan B, plan C, depending who is playing against, which is, I think, is a good thing, because I always thought that playing against Arsenal is at times almost too easy. You can easily bully them out from the ball and scoring late in the game, or when they go to a tough opposition, big players, they struggle. And now seeing all this analysis, which basically, in a way, I agree with you, he get an insurance that, okay, I have plan A, plan B, plan C. Depending who I'm playing, maybe I play more technically, or sometimes when I need the direct approach, I have the guys, or set pieces, I have the big powerful guys to score goals.
Significantly more drop points for Arsenal, and they have a heck of a job on now if they are to go on and win the league. We've taken their 18 points from the first 10 games this season and had a look at what they might have to get to. 94 points is the average since Pep Guardiola came into the Premier League 8 seasons ago. So if they're going to get there, it didn't require that last season, but if they're going to get there, it's another 76 points at an average of 2.7 per game. It might have to look something like that. 24 wins, 4 draws to get up to that tally. 90 points is one more than they managed last season. A lot of people are talking about this 90-point barrier for Arsenal to get to. So that would be 72 at 2.6 per game. Again, it is requiring an extraordinary effort from this point on. 71 points is the average to get into the top 4, which might mean Champions League football for Arsenal next season. That has been the average over the last 8 seasons again. They're averaging 1.8 points per game right now, so they actually have to improve on that to be sure of a place in the top 4 on that basis.